What is absolutely good? College football season just kicked away in Ireland, man. Oh man, Jesus, Georgia Tech, man. Did y'all freaking see, man? That defense was on point, but hey, heading into another section, NFL is literally about to start in 10 days, and I'm extremely excited for that aspect of games. But today I'm going to go over what I think. I'm going to give 4 NFL teams who could shock the world and 2 teams who could highly disappoint, because when we're talking about the teams in NFL, man, we got to be smart, So, the NFL teams are largely locked in this season. Outside of some small post-draft free agency signings, we've reached the point where the majority of the work has been done. So, and a lot of teams are ready to do their thing this season. So, some teams have done some solid drafting. They had some good hires, smart free agency moves that could lead the mammoth turnaround and fortunes we could reach the fall. Here are some teams worth keeping an eye on because, on paper it looks good, but we'll just have to see. First off, a team that I think would be pretty decent this year, intriguing, could shock the world, is the Chicago Bears, guys. So the thing is, the Chicago Bears had key additions of quarterback Caleb Williams, wide receiver Rome Odunze, wide receiver Keenan Allen, and offensive coach Shane Waldron. So, it's really easy to forget, the Bears, man. So they finished 2023 season at 7-10, winning 4 of their last 6 games. Things actually started to come together for, on the defensive side of the ball, So, they're going to pair, with a totally ramped offense. And they made a truly great hire in Shane Waldron, the head coach now, who can modernize the offense with Caleb Williams. I'm not as quite bullish on Williams' year 1 success, and others might be, but I don't think he needs profoundly a brilliant rookie season to still make the Bears 24 season, a successful season to say. So the thing is, based on this season, so things could easily get to double-digit wins this season with a fairly favorable slate of opponents, full, a lot of toss-up games or favorable matchups. There are very real chance the Bears become a playoff team and would stun a lot of people who still perceive them as one of the worst teams in the NFL. So I really think the Bears can make a run. And the other team that can shock the world in a good way is the Arizona Cardinals, man. So, they did draft wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., offensive tackle Jonah Williams, and cornerback Shane Murphy Bunting, man. So the thing is, they did have a big factor, the biggest factor, I think, the Cardinals, they had cornerback and comeback and Kyler Murray. Sorry, I meant to say comeback. So, yes, he hasn't been great to kick off the Jonathan Gannon era in 2023 of last season, but that was largely because Arizona's weapons were absolutely, sorry to say it, but they were trash. Just to say, they were absolutely trash, fellas. So, it's very difficult to overstate exactly what a huge impact Marvin Harrison Jr. could have on this team. One of the most highly touted receiver prospects of the modern era. Harrison Jr. could easily put up 1,000 yards his rookie season. I really do think he could. So, if you combine that with a bolstering offensive line, defensive line, and secondary, and the pieces are there, we're going to take playoff level improvement like Chicago, because the burn will be slower here, but this is a much better than a 4-13 team from, last season. But the thing, considering, Arizona's play in the brutal NFC West, I think it's important to reasonable expectations to end, and I think they could easily be 9-8 or 8-9 in 2024. Much better than last season. Fighting for a wild card spot down the stretch could, be a very good possibility, I think. So another thing is, Carolina Panthers, they had an absolute terrible season. I think they only won like 3 games, but they did add talent. And, the offensive line, Jesus Christ, that is all I can say to that offensive line. And they were not making it easy on their rookie quarterback last season. So, they did have some key additions. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson, wide receiver Xavier Legidity, I think his name. Offensive guard Robert Hunt. Offensive guard Damian Lewis, and a new head coach and Dave. So, Big Dave! So, let's see if the Panthers can make a run, So, it'll be interesting. So, I know. We did this last year. Rumors of the Panthers turnaround was greatly exaggerated in 2023 of last season. I don't think anyone could have predicted that Frank Rick could have been, a nightmare to say. So the thing is, this feels very different, that I would say. But let me, guys, what you guys think of the Panthers, of what they could possibly be. But, why I say it feels different, if you actually watch Bryce Young, his rookie season, you'll know that he was absolutely not the problem with the Panthers offense. He was struck with the worst receiving room in the NFL, full of guys either couldn't get separation, didn't fight for the ball, and sometimes, really both. So the year gets overhaul offensive line. So I really think things can turn around, in my personal opinion, particularly at the 2-guard spot where Bryce struggled the most with interior pressure. So, and now he has a true number one who can separate in Johnson, the biggest factor through Dave's system, new head coach. So the Panthers' new head coach worked wonders with Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay, and there is a lot of belief he can do the same in Tampa. Now, to be fair, he doesn't have Mike Evans or Chris Godwin to work with, but similar with the Cardinals, the Panthers could easily be able to come be like a 9-8 team that pushes for a playoff spot, especially in the NFC South, where it's a weaker division. Mind the Falcons do have a lot of talent, especially in the defensive end. So we will have to see how it all plays out. So, one team that has been struggling lately that can't get over the hump, I think they can with these new additions. The Los Angeles Chargers are a very good team, with their quarterback, because, I really like the additions of running back J.K. Dobbin, another running back to help, in case Dobbin gets hurt again. Gus Edwards, offensive tackle. Joe Alt, the first round pick. I think he's going to be tremendous help. Wide receiver Ladd McConkey from Georgia, the speedster. And so they got talent and they got head coach Jim Harbaugh. That's very interesting. So, We will have to see about that with Jim Harbaugh over there, with his allegations he did at Michigan. But we'll see. This is not a 5-win team, guys. There is no planet in which the Chargers should be a 5-win team. Horrific coaching made them a 5-win team. That alone is enough to bullish on the Chargers to, take a step forward this season. Even if this season is really about laying the groundwork, nobody had their foundations torn apart more than the Los Angeles Chargers. Harbaugh's very specific version or vision of football meant, receivers Mike Williams and Keenan Allen in favor of focusing on the offensive line to become, more of like a run first team that I would say, So it goes without saying that when you sign both of the Ravens free agent running backs and your last name is Harbaugh, that's something familiar, here. Even though Justin Herbert's stats might take a hit, this team is destined to become more balanced. The AFC West is brutal, man. But I think this team could be poised for like another wild card contender, so with that brutal schedule. But, teams that, the two bad teams that are going to take a hit this season, is the Jets, man. I'm sorry to say it. It is going to be the New York Jets. They did add Tyron Smith, Mike Williams, wide receiver, defensive tackle Javion McClaw, and offensive talent Alu Fashanu. So the reason why I say this, this is on the other spectrum of surprises. I know that there's expectations that Aaron Rodgers will step in. Everything will be honky-dory, and the Jets will return to being Super Bowl contenders. Truth is, I don't really know. So, the Jets are a house of cards that could easily collapse to stiff breeze. Move Rodgers to the side for a second, and they're still leaning heavily on a lot of aging veterans to keep the train moving. As it stands, Roberts, head coach for the Jets, hasn't done much as a head coach to inspire confidence, but the only bright spot is Sauce Gardner and Aaron Rodgers. But, this team did go 7-10 last season, and it's wholly possible they make improvement. But a 9-win finish only to get bounced in the wild card or miss the playoffs altogether could be a shocking result for a team that expected to mix for the championship. So, last season was very unfortunate with Aaron Rodgers, but, we will have to see. And there's a team that everybody says every year, they're going to be this, they're going to be that, they're going to have this amazing record, go to the Super Bowl, and it is America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not seeing it, fellas. The Cowboys didn't really add anybody significant. The Cowboys were largely humstrung in free agency to a lack of cap space, and they don't really do much in the draft to get better. Yes, I know Zeke is back, but it's not 2018, guys. Hoping for him to return to being a 1,000-yard back is blind hope, basically, with absolutely nothing but faith to back on. So, it's make or break here in Dallas, I think. And the tea leaves are swirling in a way that could indicate that it's about to collapse. This 12-5 team a year ago got bounced by the Packers in the wild card and didn't get any better. It could shock people if this team regress, but the stage is set for a 7-win season and then tearing this apart and trying again. Sorry, Cowboys fans, but hey, If you like this video, like, subscribe to the content. If you need more sports takes, what you want me to go over, I will go over it, man. I highly appreciate if you watch the video, man. We are going to be out of this episode, man. I hope you like the content, guys, and peace out, man. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch my videos. I highly appreciate it. Do not think that gets unnoticed, man. I appreciate everyone. We're uploading every day, and we're out, boys. NFL season is coming up in about a week and a half. Let's go!